Hey VCDC family, hope you're doing well, staying healthy, staying hunkered down. Just wanted to reach out and connect with you guys and tell you that we're praying for you, thinking of you. You know, my wife and our kids, we're normally homebodies. We like to stay home lots of times anyways. A couple weeks ago we got these pictures, put them up in the back of behind our couch. We didn't know they were going to be so prophetic. Maybe we should take them down and get some new ones that say, "Get me out of here" or something. But you know, during this time, we've been talking about how do we stay connected as a church family, and we're going to continue to do some things like our weekend services online. I would encourage you to stay tuned to those and be paying attention for those to come out on Sunday at 10 or watching it after 10. Or we'll also have our podcast on Monday. Mondays become available. But now that we're kind of even hunkering down more and small groups are on pause for a while at least, you know, we've been thinking and talking about how can we stay connected while we're staying home. And so one of the things we're going to start doing is that we're going to have these kind of midweek check-ins, these midweek kind of points where you're going to hear from a friendly face, a pastor, somebody on staff, or a leader you might recognize, just from the church to encourage you and maybe just keep the conversation going a little bit in a different way. You know, I know many of you have been doing and going through this 40 Days Prayer Fasting booklet, and one of the things that I've been noticing this week as I've been going through it is that some of these talks are really heavy. Some of these passages, I should say, are really heavy this week. You know, there's things talking about the end times, and that can create a lot of fear. And I just, in my mind, I kind of think, man, we picked these verses months ago, and not knowing all that we were going to be going through with this virus. But as I was reading today's passage this morning, I was thinking about in Matthew 24. 36 through 51, it talks about, you know, these end times, and it brings up really just kind of this opportunity for us to be really fearful. But I think there's also an even greater opportunity to be a people of faith. You know, in the passage today, it talks about two kinds of people, two servants of God's. Ones who focus during the times of crisis on loving God and loving others and doing the work that God has called them to do. And then others who kind of turn inward. They get kind of selfish and they kind of focus on themselves. So I would encourage you to be thinking about, hey, what is God calling you into in these next couple weeks? What is He inviting you into? The answer isn't so much to be worrying, is this the end times or not? Because in the same passage it says no one knows. So unless your name is no one, then you probably don't know. Instead, you should need to just stay focused on the work that God has given for you to love other people right now. You know, I would encourage you to think about, hey, just texting friends, checking in on people in your small group, checking in on family members, telling them you're praying for them, thinking of them, offering to pray for them on the phone. That's a great thing to be doing. You know, maybe even ding-dong ditch a roll of toilet paper on your neighbor's front step, put a Bible verse on it or an encouraging note. You know, seems like toilet paper's rare and more valuable than gold these days. But just be paying attention to, God, what are you doing this week? What are you calling me into this week? How can I serve you and love others this week during these difficult times? What's He teaching you? Where do you see Him moving? And you know, and I would encourage you to actually think about those questions and then talk about them with somebody. Talk about them with somebody in your family, your spouse, your kids. Talk about them, you know, with a friend or, you know, over the phone, Skype or, you know, FaceTime or whatever, and connect with people in your small group, and just then receive and hold on to the peace that God gives you. Receive and hold on to the peace that He knows what He's doing, that He's in charge, that He hasn't forgotten us, and that the job that He has for you is to continue to be a faithful servant and loving Him and loving others during these crazy times. And so I hope to see you sooner than later. And we'll be continuing to pray for you, but I guess until then we'll just keep staying home, and then we'll check in soon. So look forward to hearing from somebody else next Wednesday, kind of mid-afternoon. Bless you guys, love you, and peace out.